Hello everyone, this is James Shore with another test-driven development video. When we left off last time, we had just started putting in some user configurable fields into our application, and this is what we're aiming for, or something roughly like this. And this is what we have right now. So I would like to go ahead and get that working. So it's been a couple of days since I recorded last, and over that time I've had a chance to think about it. And I think what I want to do is create a panel whose job it is to do this stuff right here. So this piece here will be one panel. This will be the existing table that we've already got, and then the whole thing will be our application. And the reason I want to do that is that I think that creating that panel will be something I can test independently. If you look at our code right now and our application frame, you see that we're testing how all this stuff is laid out, and it's already getting ugly. I mean, it's quite ugly, and we haven't even hardly done anything yet. Once we get to the point of doing all these different fields, it's going to be quite messy. So that's my thought anyway, is let's go ahead and create a panel just to house that information, and then it should go more smoothly. So that's the theory. Let's see how it works out. I'm going to start out by making a new test class. Test first. And let's see, that's going to be, what do I want to call that? Oh, did I close that? So that's going to be data entry panel, I think, for now, for lack of a better term. So data entry panel test. Okay. As usual, I like to start by making sure I've got everything working. Okay, there we go. All right, so I think I will start out by just, I'm not sure how to approach this. One thing I was also thinking about is whether or not I wanted to make these fields here into their own thing. What I think I want is for these to line up and for these to line up. And that sort of implies a grid layout. Now I know there are other layout managers out there that might make my life easier. So it might be getting close to time to do that. I also have this note about having the $ in there, which implies some sort of constrained value, but I'm not sure what if I want to do that first. So what I'm thinking about here is that right now I'm sort of going top down with the whole application, and then I've got the table, and then I was going to go in and make this panel here, and then I was going to go in and put in this field and this stuff, and then I was going to go in and make this field have a value in it. But I wonder if it might be useful as sort of a starting point to just get one thing working and hooked up. Yeah, I mean, this is just coming to mind now. I didn't plan it before I started the video. What if, this might be pretty cool, what if what we did was just made, what if we just made this field modify this value as a starting point? That could be really interesting, I think. And that would force out more of the issues that we care about, like, for example, turning this into a number and so forth. That could be an interesting place to go. Yeah, let's try that. Let's just see how that works. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do this data entry panel test. That will come in when we want two fields. But right now we have one field. I mean, it's ugly for sure. And yes, I realize I keep rerunning the app after it's already running. That's, that's just welcome to my life, let me say. Um, yeah, so it's ugly. We don't have a name or anything, but from a technology point, from getting this to work, layout is fiddly, but not particularly unknown. Like we know what we need to do there. What we haven't demonstrated that we know how to do, or I haven't demonstrated that I know how to do in this context, is how to make this affect this. Um, so that would be good. And now that I've come up with a nice challenge, I have to admit, I don't know how to do it. Again. Welcome to Let's Play Jim Doesn't Know What He's Doing. All right, so, well, um, right. I've sort of gotten myself in a pickle now, haven't I? I guess we need to make a text field that's going to influence the stock market model. Where's the stock market model? There's our stock market. And we need the ability to change the balance because what's going to happen is we're going to write an event handler on this frame. It's going to change the model. When the model changes, the table data should change. So I think first order of business is to make it so the model can be changed. And I don't think we have that yet. Looking at the stock market, yeah, there's no ability to modify the stock market after it's been created. And I think that could be possibly interesting. So let's go ahead and do that. The other option would be to simply create a new stock market to replace, to make the stock market class or immutable, make stock market objects immutable, in the same way that we made stock market year immutable. But, oh, well, actually, that might make sense. I mean, what are we doing here? When we change that value, when we change this value, are we modifying the stock market, or are we actually throwing away this projection and making a whole new one? I imagine some of you out there are thinking about performance. What about performance? That's where my mind went. But one thing I've learned from doing software development is that you can never predict where the performance issues are going to be. And generally speaking, computers are way faster than we ever think. So if it's calculation related, you can do it over and over again and there's no noticeable performance lag. It's when you start dealing with huge volumes or talking to the disk and network that you have to worry about performance. So I'm going to let go of performance and just say, what's the best design here? Conceptually, if I change this from a 10,000 to an 11,000, what am I doing? Am I modifying the stock market projection? Or am I creating a new projection? And I think I'm making a new projection. And actually, what that tells me is that this class here, this is not a stock market. This is a stock market projection. And I think that's maybe, I don't know, I'm in kind of a weird mood today, so maybe I'm just excited about everything, but that feels like a really good change to me. Stock market projection. I like that. And so the stock market table model, so it takes a new stock market projection. So what that means is that in our application frame, we will just modify the forecast table's model. Can we do that? Is that legal? Looking to see if there's a set model or something like that. There is. So I'm going to do a quick spike here. I'm going to refactor this out into, not text field, let's call it starting balance field. And I need to remember how that works. Like that. Now this is a spike. I'm trying to figure out how this works, which is why I'm not writing tests around it. What I'm going to do is figure this out and then basically delete it and do it over again with tests. Looking at the time, perhaps not in this video. So what I want to do is add a listener. I think I want to add a listener for whether or not it's changed. And I'm not sure. Oh, come on. Again, Eclipse is just thinking as I look for the hints. Add listener. What do I want? What is add notify? I don't think notify is what I want. I'm actually, let's see. I'm going to pause the video for a moment and look at what these listeners are and how they work, and I will be back. Okay, I'm back. It looks like what we want is the action listener. And what I'm going to do here is just change the table model, which, well, actually I don't have access to that. No, we need it to be a. Oh my goodness. This is not as simple as I thought. Okay, I'm going to back up. Okay, so we'll need this to be a local variable. Yeah, this is some hacking. I'm just doing it to do my spike. I'm going to back it out when we're done. I didn't start my timer right on time, but it looks like we're out of time, so we will pick this up next time. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you later.